Hey everyone, it's HSK Shift here. All right. Samito'S talked about making a Brig guide for a while now, and he's finally come out and released it. I want to react to it with you. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see what he says to see if it aligns with what I think is the best for Brig, but opinions always matter. I really want to see how he does, and let's watch it together. I haven't viewed it at all yet. No spoilers, so we're going to be watching it, reacting it for the first time, and I'll give my thoughts of what I think about it too. Oh my god, this video is 20 minutes long. That is so long. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit faster. Let's put it at 1.25 so that we can really get into it and make it a little bit quicker. Let's see what he has to say here in the beginning. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, what is going on today, guys? It is Sam, better known as Samito, coming at you guys with the ultimate Brigitte guide today.
Oh, the ultimate Brigitte guide? Wait a second. Could you make a more unique title?
Best support in
Love you.
Overwatch 2, and honestly, a great and necessary hero to have in your hero pool if you want to climb as support. Brig is the ultimate anti-dive character, and
True.
when you learn how to master the character, you'll be able to save your team from dive comps better on Brig than any other character in the game. If you're wondering what my experience is, the game actually keeps it all a secret from you, and I'll show you why right now.
It kind of does.
Let's start out with the most important part of Brig, which is her passive Inspire. Inspire has a massive healing diameter radius. It's
All right. He's saying Inspire is the most important part of Brig's kit, which I don't know. I don't really love to say that, because what I usually say in my guide is I say Inspire is not a priority. You don't want to worry about Inspire. And to be really honest with y'all, I say that because what a lot of people do is they think they always need to have Inspire up. And what they do, instead of having it up correctly, they'll go in, they'll try to whip someone, and they'll die for it. So instead of keeping Inspire up and staying alive, they try to keep Inspire up and go too far, go too deep, and then die, when really the way you carry on Brig is by staying alive, and you wait for them to come to you. And that's why I say don't worry about Inspire. It will come with good positioning and with the team coming towards you. So
basically a giant spear. And
he's just explaining things right now, which obviously we know how Inspire really works.
Inspire radius compared to Lucio's heal radius, right? Lucio's
yes, Brig Inspire does a lot of range. We're just getting some general details now.
Yeah. Flail on an enemy, you can also proc it, right? So basically, you want to be hitting things with your mace, or even better, your flail, to proc the Inspire and play safe.
The flail is really a great way to do it.
Is they walk up and they think they need to be brawling, right? You don't do enough damage to brawl, and you put yourself at risk. What you want to do is stay from range.
He's still saying that.
Enemy tanks to proc the Inspire and then use your packs on targets that are low.
Okay, so he did come back and full circle that in terms of the Inspire. He's saying you don't want to go in there and brawl and die for Inspire, but use your whip shot from range. Keep yourself alive and then have Inspire up. Watch, obviously hitting more whip shots. You want Inspire up as much as possible, but don't feed to do it. No, that's not too bad. All right.
Speaking of packs, we'll head to our next ability, which is Repair Pack. Basically, it just heals over time. It gives you 25 burst healing whenever you initially.
Yeah, that burst is super great, honestly.
Multiple packs on somebody. Next, obviously, we have Whip Shot, which is just the ranged flail. It's best to use that on tanks because they're the easiest targets to hit to keep your Inspire up, right? Because, I mean, they have such a massive hitbox. That's generally who you want to be aiming for, unless you already have Inspire up and you're looking to mark a flanker, like a Tracer, or as you can see over here, a ball, to potentially boot them off the map. The Rally, which is incredibly strong because you can stack the overheal with both Inspire and Pack. So your healing output while Rally is up is incredibly high. The one thing you don't want to do, though, is just kind of hard int with Rally and run it down mid. You want to just play your life. The thing is with Brig, the longer you live with Inspire up, the better Brig player you're going to be.
Oh, see?
You
Okay.
You want to play your distance.
It's got some good things here. The longer you live on Brig, the more you carry. This is true. This is true. I see nothing wrong. I see nothing wrong.
Now, when do you want to pick Brig? And the most important deciding factor as to when you want to pick Brig is what tank are they playing. Also, I guess the DPS kind of matter too. You don't want to play Brig on the big poke maps like Havana and Circuit Royale, but let's start out with the tank matchups that are good for Brig.
I wouldn't always agree with that. It really does come down to team comp exactly when you want to play Brig, but even it can still work on Circuit Royale. If you have a Sigma v Sigma comp, you really can act as an off tank and it can work really well. Sometimes I've had some really successful games playing Brig with a Sigma against a Sigma, but it really just does come down to team comp versus the map type.
Brig is very good because it's very easy for you to hit a flail on D.Va and knock her away. The same kind of goes for Doomfist. He's a bit harder of a target to hit, but Brig kind of catches his dive very well. You can block his punch and like counter stun him, and he's very easy to get Inspire off of because again, D.Va and Doom to get value have to engage on something, right? Junker Queen is okay. You have to be very careful of her Carnage ability. I would say she's like medium. Like you can pick Brig into her, but there's definitely better picks in my opinion.
Brig's pretty good in the Junker
Same
Queen.
goes for Orisa. Like Brig into Orisa, she is
Brig into
able to flail,
Orisa
but
is
she can
really
also
good.
run you over. The tanks that can easily run you over are the ones you have to be careful of, and you
That's
want
true.
to save your shield bash to bash away from them when they use their cooldowns to close the distance, then use your flail to knock them away and just keep your...
Okay, moment here. Yes, I love the bashing away. That is the main purpose of really shield bash now in Overwatch 2. You can play Brig into Orisa, definitely. You just have to know when they spear, which usually when Orisas do is they use their little spinny thing, and then they immediately throw the spear. So when you see Orisa using her spinny thing, they'll automatically usually throw a javelin at you afterwards. You just hold your shield up while they're spinning and you'll block it. Otherwise, playing Orisa into Orisa is really actually not that bad as Brig.
Brig is a bad matchup into. His Nemesis form just punches straight through Brig.
I do agree that it is a bad matchup. You can play into Ramattra as Brig, but you really have to know how to play it. It's a very key interaction thing. It's very easy to die as him. So if you're playing bad as Brig, you'll want to swap, but you just basically always bash away from his what I call fisty form. Boom, boom. So anytime he pulls out his big fist thing, you just have to bash away. You really don't want to brawl him or even get close to him at all during the time, but you can play into him. You just have to play well.
That can block your flail, right? And he can run the distance and swing on you. So like you're gonna really struggle to get Inspire up against Orion.
Also against Reinhardt, I love playing against Reinhardt because you can block his shatter, you can boop him away, but really what you want to do is you are a distraction to the Reinhardt. Usually when you're playing against a rush comp as Brig, they're always going to try to rush you down, and with you knowing this in your mind, you're always just on the run, which if you're always on the run and they're never killing you, the rest of your team is going to get the kills. So if you're dying to Reinhardt a lot, yes, you'll want to swap, but you can also play into him well if you know how the interaction works and you're just running away from him and not trying to brawl him either. They could just 3-shot you a lot.
I think Brig is actually very good. He's very easy to flail. You can not when he hooks your teammates, you can flail him back to save your team and pack.
That's also true.
So he's a very easy Inspire proc. Sigma, not a great matchup for Brig, really.
That's false.
Maps where you can probably get away with it, but like you're definitely
the Sigma versus the Brig comp is actually one of my favorite tanks to play against because he is just, I don't know why. I think it's really how I learned Brig in the original meta with Ball Sigma. It is so much fun to play against a Sigma as Brig. It is really, you can really shut down a Sigma very well. You can bash away from his ultimate. You can block his shield. You can boop him. You can do a lot against Sigma. You honestly can 1v1 a Sigma pretty well. But you have to do it correctly. It's all about skill. This isn't a free hero just to pick Brig and go against a Sigma. You have to be good enough to go against him.
Against the Sigma as Brig. Winston. Brig's pretty good into Winston. Obviously, you do have to be careful. She's
great
barrier, but if you proc Inspire, like what I like to do is say he's diving me, right? What you want to do is you actually want to walk into him until you get Inspire. Once you get Inspired, you then want to bash away. Also, whenever he jumps up, you can flail him to knock him back and displace him.
I guess.
So that's really good. It's kind of like a neutral, but if you learn how to play Brig, again, I see so many Brigs have the Winston dive them and they stand there shielding. Your number one thing is get Inspire up as fast as you can. And what that usually means is walking into a tank like Winston.
I don't like saying that terminology. It's technically true, but like saying something like that, you might almost want to fool someone to say to feed in order for Inspire, which is really what I don't like saying. That's why I say Inspire is not a priority, because if you're like, we need Inspire up all the time, you're going to put yourself out of position to try to get Inspire up when you might not always need it. So you have to be careful about that. Inspire comes with good positioning and time, but if you're trying to like feed for it and be overly aggressive for it, like you're going to die trying to get Inspire up, and then you just die and you lose because you're dead. You carry on Brig by living. So be careful about saying words like that, in my opinion.
Reinhardt, not anything that can burst kill you. If it's a hero like Winston who can just zap you slowly, walk up, get Inspire, bash away, easy peasy, just like that, right?
I guess, sure.
Or even better if you just hit the flail on a jump, that's the best. Ball is so good for Brig. Whenever they have a ball, you should always swap to Brig.
It's very true.
Whenever he comes in, you want to try to flail him before he can PD. You just get so much value, because in order for Ball to get value at all, he has to dive. So if you play a hero that's very good at catching divers and healing your whole team through the dive, it's perfect, right? So say PD's your team, right? Say a ball is about to PD these guys. Literally all you do, imagine this is a ball coming into PD right here, is you try to flail them away, quick pack. And then you can try to body block a little bit of your team, bash out if you need to, and just keep packing and looking for flails. Easy peasy lemon squeezy right there.
It's true.
I think that's all. Oh, Zarya, right? That's right. Zarya.
With the thing with Ball, also, you can still technically bash his momentum. You have to be exactly perpendicular to him. You have to be exactly like, I guess, 180 degrees away from him, that he's coming onto you straight, and his momentum actually gets stopped by your bash. You can also bash the Ball for yourself not to get booped, but sometimes it won't always do that. But if you don't want to get booped, you can always bash Ball and you won't get booped. But you can sometimes stop his momentum when you're exactly like 180 degrees to him. It's pretty finicky, but sometimes it can really shut him down.
matchup. I don't think Brig is that good into Zarya. She's like kind of neutral.
Zarya's sometimes really hard.
You have to wait for her bubbles to be gone to then get your Inspire up, but you don't want to get in melee range of her. You really pretty much
you don't.
Be trying to
especially if she's high energy.
Obviously, any dive DPS like Tracer or Sombra, Brig is very good into, but
That's true.
say they play like Bash and Torb or Junkrat, Ashe, or some like heavy poke, and they don't have a dive tank, you probably do want to swap Brig, but
honestly, I can agree.
Dive, Brig.
Some of the worst comps are like Zarya, like double sniper on a Zen. When they have like many heroes in a row that are pokey, like it gets really hard for Brig. So sometimes if they're running, really when I find out if I can't play Brig is if I'm dying a lot, dying first, dying more than my team, then I'm like, okay, maybe I should switch off Brig. It's kind of how I rule things.
Brig, again, Brig can be good with pretty much any support. Brig, Lucio, you will have a low heal output.
Brig can be pretty good with any support.
It doesn't really matter too much what your other
Brig Lucio's okay.
As long as they pick the dive characters. If they have a ball, or, you know,
exactly.
especially a ball or a monkey, you can always pick Brig into
it's
those
true.
characters, right? Whenever it's a hard dive tank, you can always pick Brig and have it not be a bad pick. Now, you might get flamed in low ranks because lower ranks have the perception that Brig is bad.
It's so true. People think Brig is so bad, you're going to get flamed. If y'all are getting flamed by your teammates, I promise you, leaving voice chat, turning off all the text chats is literally so mentally restoring. It's amazing playing the game with no voice chat. People don't use comms in this game to calm, they use it to flame you. So if you're getting flamed, Brig is a good pick. I promise you're doing fine, but that character sometimes gets them a lot of flame.
Like, OSR players are not shown how to actually play Brig properly.
It's true.
The game doesn't show you're inspired. So people don't know that you're actually doing something. But once you actually learn to see what's going on, you start to recognize,
am I about to do a VOD review for Samito right now? Is he going to play the game?
Has the highest heal, like, radius, like, area of effect of any character in the game. So I'm going to start out high ground and scout. Right?
Okay, look at this. Again, I guess we're doing a VOD review for him too now. Okay, we love the high ground for Brig. That's always we should be taking. You can always jump off the high ground. You can never climb back up. Always start by taking the high ground. We're doing a VOD review for him now.
The only way they beat me is if they hard run me over. So I flail him and just back up. Right now, my whole team is being healed for me.
Also, look what he's doing. He's looking around. He's getting game sense about where the enemy team's positioning is.
For 6 seconds. I'll bash my Ashe, top him off. My packs are coming back slowly but surely. Again, I missed my flail. So if I miss my flail, I walk in and get my Inspire and dash out, right?
You didn't have to do that.
And as long as I continue that cycle,
as long as you're not taking damage, I guess you could do that.
So I missed it there. We're going to try to walk in and get that bash right back out. If I miss my flail, I save my shield bash to walk in. Get what
he's using shield bash for movement. I'm loving it.
So now, because we got them low,
see? He bashed a low HP tank. He's doing well. He's doing well. He watched the Brig guide.
Inspire up and we start to snowball the fight, and I hit my flail. I can use my bash aggressively because I have my Inspire up.
Yeah, you really want to use bash as like a finisher ability like that when someone's low.
And one thing I like to do is your flail does more damage than your actual swing, right? So you need to finish off a target. The bash flail combo is very good. So I'm gonna miss that.
That's true.
Already 73 the rally. I can start close.
He's third person shielding the corner. I love it.
Flail her away, and I get permanently back. I'm playing way back. See, I'm playing where they can't get me, but my Inspire will heal them all the way over.
His positioning's beautiful.
Dash straight back out, flail him away from me, and see what I'm doing. And let's go ahead and rally my Doom in. We're gonna try to close this one out. Can I get in there with my Doom? Right.
I guess.
Stack up the overheal. Tracer. And we're gonna get her.
See, his positioning's great. He's third person shield peeking the corner. He's playing good position.
Swing, bash, flail. I think is enough to kill somebody if you're going for.
Maybe, yeah, but see, he's not over aggressive. He's always talking about having Inspire up, but he's not kind of feeding to do it, you know. So he's doing well with that. He's honestly playing well.
And so we've started to snowball the fight in our favor, right?
Brig is not a tank. You don't want a tank.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna bash out.
See, that was great. You didn't necessarily need to bash away there, but just to keep yourself safe.
Unfortunately die there, and that's what happens when you go too far forward, right? My Doom was 1 HP, so I didn't have very many packs.
That was kind of unlucky, honestly.
Try to get Inspire up early. Ideally, I get cleanse there too.
That could have been a moment, maybe, where he was like, "I have to get Inspire up." He went for the whip shot, got speared by Orisa. That's on the fence about that. Maybe if he like thought that he didn't need to have Inspire up, he wouldn't have died there necessarily, but that was kind of unlucky with the Javelin Spear. But that could kind of be an example where I'm like, you don't always need to have Inspire up every single second if you're going to die for it. That was kind of unlucky, honestly. That was kind of unlucky. One of my favorite things I love to say now with Brig is the triple D. It's distract, disrupt, destroy with Brig. If you're able to distract the enemy team from doing something, you really are shutting people down. You don't always have to be brawling them or swinging at them. Even just holding your shield up in their direction and looking at them makes people play differently, and then you make the game carry by just your presence, especially against dive characters like Tracer and Ball and stuff. But not necessarily killing them or going forward to try to kill them, but distracting them and booping them.
under here. They're gonna have Terra Surge.
I'm not sure why he didn't take high ground, but I guess he didn't really. No one else really took it.
So I get my Inspire up. Everyone's gonna start to get healed.
I was fine.
Got 2 packs on them. I'm gonna mark the Tracer so that she can't get on my ass.
Distract, disrupt, destroy. Distract the Tracer.
Very split spots. This is bad. See, we kind of split away from the Brig. We lost our setup and we staggered. We're gonna pack those guys out. My support.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have really done anything.
Gonna hold. Gonna get the Spire up with the bash. Save my Ash there, and that's how you feel the dive again.
He's really all about the Inspire. He's really all about the Inspire. What's even his Inspire uptime? Exactly. His positioning's a little wide here, but it's fine. Okay. His positioning is great when they're using a bunch of... You failed the bash. Okay, yeah, that happens sometimes a lot. It's kind of annoying. You want to be very patient when Orysas go for an ult like that because sometimes they'll walk right past you. They'll walk right behind you, so you Terra Search and you think you want a 180 bash out. Sometimes you'll bash the Orisa if she goes too far behind you, so you have a little bit of like an extra second before you really have to bash out. So when you see the Terra Search, take an extra second to wait for the bash to make sure that you're going to get out of it. But otherwise, his positioning is great. He's backing up around corners when they're using ults and stuff. He's not dying for the Inspire or anything.
Very low, very low. We're going to see a little tap flail there. That's all we do. Mercy's going to be low, too. It's a good little combo we got going. She's going to stagger. And I want you guys to really pay attention how I'm just constantly cutting out. Like, their Tracer has not been able to get any. That's a top 100 Tracer on the
He's
team, by the way.
distracting, disrupting, destroying. Distracting the Tracer.
Up a ton of the time, right? Anytime there's a fight going on, I've got my Inspire up. If she tries to dive somewhere, I dive it as well, right? And peel it, and I can just out-heal her a lot and make the disrupt her, right? Force the recall early so she can't commit.
Forcing out resources from the enemy team.
And again,
forcing out...
Tracer, right? Just disruption.
Disruption! He even said it! Okay. I see you. Distract, disrupt, destroy. You're forcing out the enemy cooldowns. You're carrying. And you're living.
To me, and I get an Inspire up for her, I get value. She gives me value.
Exactly. Watch out for Pulse Bomb, though. I wonder if the Tracer will try to pulse him or if they'll block it. How did he not almost die from that? That was kind of scary, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, he shielded it. See, he's using a shield as well. You're like, Orisa interaction, she might have a spear as I'm walking into hard cover. Hold up that shield.
Look at how much ult charge I'm getting. I see my Doom getting low, so I go in to help him because we're up people, right?
Oh, didn't shield that.
Not worry, you can't pierce me.
Interesting.
And now he's won,
Bash,
right?
but
I got
it's
another
fine.
rally. Look at how much ult charge I'm getting. I think I made their Tracer rage quit. I did. Their top 500 Tracer rage quit the game. So that's it, man. You've just survived. We've got double our Kiriko's healing.
All you gotta do is just live on Brig. Right there, exactly. People think Brig is so bad. Before these buffs, even with the pack, she didn't play any differently, y'all. Before the pack buffs, she was the exact same thing. And everyone thought she was so bad. I had like a 65% win rate on Brig in Season 1 and 2.
I promise you, it's honestly way easier than people think.
It's way easier than people think.
Rally early, build up our armor, walk with our bog, and in the rally.
He's taking the space with the rally for when they're taking damage. So be careful. Oh! That was a little scary. He's using his shield though. Instead of dying and taking the damage, he's using his shield, playing his life. You live on Brig, you carry on Brig. Oh no, he didn't alt track.
So you see, that's the only mistake you make is Brig. I just did what a plat Brig does, right?
You bashed a full HP tank.
And that's why Orisa can be kind of a tough matchup for Brig right there. But it would have been great had I just kept my distance, right? That's all you have to do. Keep your distance. And
you just bashed a full HP tank.
Kind of like I talked about. If you miss your flail, right, save your bash so that you can bash out.
Exactly. She watched the Brig guide. She watched the Brig guide.
That's literally the entire character.
It literally is, though.
Just a little short there.
And the way you can really get great is just like making the interactions between characters perfect. You know exactly what to do against a certain character, and it really makes you, sets you apart from everyone else. You might have been able to stay on the high ground again, but watch out for the flail. I mean, you still had like another 5 seconds of Inspire. I mean, it's fine. He's staying alive, so there's really nothing wrong with this, though. Boop. I mean, he's playing really well. Like, he's playing really well.
That is clockwork, and we got another rally already.
That's exactly. He's playing picture perfect, basically. These are also really. These feel like really easy teammates to play against, but.
Inspire up. See, my Ash was low because I didn't have Inspire up, right? So as long as I have Inspire, that Cole won't do anything to us either. Get Inspire again.
He's bashing away from the tanks, you know?
Generally, you want to be packing squishies a ton.
His positioning's also great, you know? He's playing around hard cover. He's using his shield instead of taking a damage.
I'm nervous about this. I don't have bash. Yep, see? That's when I die. When I miss my flail and I don't have my bash to keep my Inspire up. That's when I was getting a little nervous. Now my Kiri should be carrying.
I mean, the Junkrat kind of exploded you. Let me go back to this for 1 second. So you miss. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Even though maybe again he kind of died unluckily, he missed his whip shot. Right, the Orisa was swinging her whatever swingy thing, so the Inspire doesn't go through. He got on edge. He was like, "Oh no, I don't have Inspire up. I have to go in. I have to swing," and then he died for it. That's exactly what I mean when I say Inspire's not a priority. If you miss your whip shot, like no one's low here. Like, you could just stand in the back still here into one of these doorways and just wait, or just keep distracting the Orisa as their Junkrats flying towards you in the sky. So he got a little antsy about not having Inspire up, and then he died for it. So that's exactly what I kind of mean when I'm saying that Inspire is not a priority. If you miss one whip shot and your team's full HP, it's like, okay, just wait an extra second and do another whip shot in the next 3 seconds or something. Like, you don't even need it. You could throw a pack in 2 seconds. No one's low here. But since he said, I'm nervous about this, and he also did have bash, didn't he? No, he didn't, I guess. I don't know if he wanted to bash for Inspire there, which is not really something you always want to do. But he got nervous. He literally said, I'm getting nervous about this because he missed one whip shot, which means he doesn't have Inspire up, which means he needs to have Inspire up, and then he dies for it. That's exactly why I don't use that terminology.
I don't have my bash to keep my Inspire up. That's when I was getting a little nervous. Now my Kiri should be carrying me more, but those are literally the only times that you die. Those are the only times that you die, and I know you guys get that too. So, like, look, pay attention to what I'm doing wrong in the fights that I die. It's literally the only time I die are the fights where I mess up my Inspire. This entire hero is about proccing Inspire and then using your Inspire to anchor yourself really far back. You do not want to be melee, right? Until you kind of master.
See, this is where I kind of get a little with with that, because if he kept his calm for an extra 3 seconds with no one on the team being low, he might have lived it and they would have pushed it and maybe carried. But since he was like, I'm getting nervous, I need to have Inspire up at all times, he dies for it. So that's just my thoughts there. It was kind of unlucky as well because the Junkrat just came in and one-shot you. But I'm just saying, you didn't need to necessarily get the Inspire up there. Like, Inspire lasts for 5 seconds, so if you're hitting your whip shot, by the time your whip shot comes back up, you have another second before it ends, so. He has great positioning though. He's using the bash well for movement.
You know what? Now we go DPS
Oh.
mode.
That was kind of scary there. I'm not going to lie. The only thing that he kind of got lucky was the Ash shot him. He kind of booped the Cassidy a little far away from him, which you could have booped him a little bit harder so that you could have got shot more, but that's a very picky thing.
There we go. GG. So once I build the rally up.
But exactly. He had 75% whip shot. It's whip shot accuracy. 46% Inspire time. He had 12k heals in 10 minutes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's how you do it right there, baby.
He played everything perfectly, honestly. There was that one little moment where he got a little antsy with it. But like, everything else was honestly perfect. It really was. He knew how the interactions worked. He also didn't get shot much, but it was because he had great positioning.
Brig guy. Those are the foundational ways to learn how to play Brig. I think as a support player, she is a must learn. If you want to become a good support player, you absolutely must learn how to play Brigitte, because those situations where your team is getting cheesed and they're being dove too hard and they just need help, she's the only hero that can actively like brawl on the dive and save your team. So
and she has so much carry potential. So much space creation.
If you guys learned something, you have questions down below, let me know.
We definitely learned.
Good luck climbing the ranks. See y'all later. Peace out.
All right. Final thoughts, everyone. Oh, don't look at this. Final thoughts. Everyone, go check out Samito, of course. His guide, honestly, there was really great. He has a lot of great content. He's awesome. Just some final thoughts, honestly, with the Brig guide and everything together. I didn't really... The only thing that I just thought that I was like, it's just that wording with the Inspire. Everything else that he did, his positioning was great. His interaction key was great. His game sense was amazing. So he really showed how hard Brig can really carry when you're playing it perfectly. But I really don't have any complaints for anything otherwise besides that Inspire stuff. Everything was great. all of it was really, honestly, very good. It was definitely a great foundational start of how to start playing Brig and exactly what you got to start doing so that you can start carrying. But just don't worry about the Inspire too much. Like, if you miss one whip shot and your team's full HP, you don't have to go in there. You're okay. You don't have to necessarily give up your positioning and die for it, but it's totally all right, y'all. Just keep learning the interactions as well. The more you climb in the ranks, the more people are going to start looking at you. The more you're going to have to learn exactly when and where and what to do based on certain heroes. Otherwise, honestly, great job, Samito. I'm proud of you. Round of applause for Mr. Mans. I'm so proud. She watched the Brig guide, the OG Brig guide. Alright, y'all. Thanks so much for watching me and hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got more content coming up soon with Brig stuff. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.